welcome to episode 8 of Basics and Beyond, the podcast. This week we expand on our topic from last week, which was building unbreakable discipline. This week we are talking about motivation, talking about building those routines that you need to keep your motivation high in those times when we struggle a little bit with discipline. Sometimes we need that motivation to help us out. Come join in, enjoy the discussion. It is good to have you with us today.
Hey, everybody. Welcome to episode 8 of Basics and Beyond, the podcast. I am so excited to be here with you today. My background is different. I've moved, and so I'm still setting up my office. It's very exciting for me. But which actually brings me to the podcast, like to the topic of our podcast. Last time in episode 7, we talked about building unshakable discipline, which hopefully you've been able to take some of those ideas that we talked about in the last episode and apply them to your life. Hopefully. If you haven't, give it a shot because it's kind of fun. Discipline's not a bad thing. It's actually, in the right doses, it's a good thing. However, that brings us to this week because we talked about discipline versus motivation, and there are ways that you can actually help yourself to feel motivated to do things, because we talked about the difference, right? So there's still that thing of motivation. So we want to talk about that. It's important, particularly when things change in our lives. And like I said, I just moved. I moved from Minnesota to Wyoming, which is a big difference. And I'm super excited to be here. However, the move itself, whether you're moving down the street to the next town or across the country, kind of creates this level of upheaval in your life that honestly is, you prepare for it. I mean, I am a super detailed person most times, most of my life. And so I plan down to the smallest detail about all of these things. And it's just very difficult to plan for how it affects every aspect of everything that you do to move into a new place. You think it's just opening the boxes and taking things out, but it's not. It's really a time that we end up unpacking, probably unpacking, as for me, a lot of things that either served me well where I was before in terms of how I lived my life and my thought processes and my actions, and some things come up that maybe didn't serve me well in my actions and my thoughts that I get to recreate and readjust and become a better version of myself, which is what I always try to do. And which is what I try to help my clients do, which is what I do help my clients do, darn it, is help them become a better version of themselves every single day. So this move was great. And the move in between, talking about discipline and motivation, it's as if it was divine intervention, whatever divinity you believe in. So today we're going to talk about boosting your motivation to reach your goals, which is a really interesting place to be. So here's the deal, right? If we can create a productive routine, right? For whatever it happens to be, whether it's work or home, because, oh my gosh, so many of you are busy, busy, busy with all the things at home. If we can create that productive routine and enhance our efficiency, we can achieve our goals. Really, routines help us settle, help us feel comfortable, and they allow us to be more efficient in life, which our brain naturally wants, right? Our brain is a very efficient machine. It's always looking for efficient ways to do things. So that also allows us to makes us better able to reach our goals. That's just how it is. So we're going to get right into it. Let's talk about ways that you can boost your motivation, which means creating that productive routine that can enhance your efficiency, get you to your goals. Okay, so let's talk about that. So, number one, let's just start off the day and start off the conversation with your morning. I'm sure, honestly, that you have heard people talk about, oh my God, the morning routine. Everybody needs a morning routine. Have a morning routine. Well, yes, you should have a morning routine. And I guarantee you, you already do have a morning routine, right? And sometimes, and we talk about this a lot, and we'll talk about this throughout the podcast. Sometimes we have routines that we didn't really plan to create, they just happen. And then they become routine, right? You have to be careful. It's easy to create a routine. Everybody thinks it's difficult. It's not. You have routines all the time. It's difficult to create a purposeful routine that you have thought through and made work well for you. That's the hard routine to create. We have routines that we've created on the fly, not even thinking about it, that may or may not serve what we want to do, right? Think about it. You sit down in the evening, an hour after you've had dinner, and you reach for some snack, Doritos, I don't know, crackers. Automatic, right? It's a routine. It's not something maybe that serves you well and gets you to your goals. However, it is a routine. So let's talk about starting with a morning routine that may be beneficial for you. Okay. Remember, we have to look at everything from an individual point of view. So things might be a little different for you. Sometimes, a lot of times, the best thing you can do is wake up a little early. Honestly, set your alarm a little earlier than you would normally do, because what you don't want to do is rush to get out the door. A lot of us will wake up and have exactly enough time to rush right out, get in the car, and get to work. Give yourself a head start on the day. Wake up early. This gives you some quiet time before you get busy. This gives you a little flexibility, a little more room to slow down and breathe. And if everything isn't perfect with the other morning routine, that's okay. You've given yourself a little cushion of time to relax, calm down, and start your day in a really nice, calm space. That's why we say wake up a little early. When you get up, drink a glass of water. First thing, honest to God, you have been dehydrating yourself all night long. Drink a glass of water. It's super important to do that. Get your body moving. So think about it this way. The glass of water gets your internal body moving, right? Kind of your wake up from your sleep, you're moving around, your brain starts going, everything starts working, you're dehydrated. Give yourself some water. Your body needs it to function properly. You're going to get up and start moving internally. Externally, get up and start moving, whether that's go for a short walk, whether that's do a little stretch session. Maybe you like to exercise earlier in the morning. Do something to get your body moving. Okay. And huge. Like these are just basics for a morning routine, right? Like we're not getting too in depth. There's just a few basics, that foundations, let's call them foundations, that are going to help you create your morning routine. Wake up a little early so you can be calm and relaxed. Get your water, hydrate, move your body some way, shape, or form. Doesn't have to be craziness, but move your body. And eat breakfast. Eat breakfast. A lot of people don't eat breakfast. It's called breakfast because you're breaking your fast. It's like dehydrating overnight. You're fasting overnight. So we want to get everything going. Have breakfast. I know a lot of people do not have breakfast and they feel like, oh, I'm just not a breakfast eater. I hear that all the time from clients. You are a breakfast eater. Your body wants you to be a breakfast eater. So if you're not eating breakfast right now, start small. That's what we always talk about, right? Start small. Maybe you just have, um, you know, a protein shake in the morning with a little bit of fruit. Maybe you start with just a little bit of fruit. Whatever it is, start small and get that digestion moving. And what you're going to find after a week or two is like, wow, you're going to wake up hungry. It's going to be amazing for you. Okay. At the time that you're eating breakfast, help your digestion by sitting down while you're doing it. So that means, wake up early. Maybe you need a little extra time to plan to sit and eat your breakfast. Eat your breakfast. While you're doing that, you can take a few minutes to plan your day. What's coming up today? What do you see today? What's happening? Think about, like, roll through it in your brain. What's going to happen today that I need to maybe plan for, that I need to have a little, um, I don't know, outline for? Maybe something is coming up that's really big and you need to kind of get your brain set and your heart set for the day for those things. Whatever it is, get yourself a little plan for the day. It'll be super important. It'll be super helpful, right? So that's a little bit of morning routine. Now what? Oh my gosh, you get in the car, you go to work. How can we help you with motivation at work? Always interesting, right? However, it's important. And here's the thing: fitness goals, health goals, work goals, personal goals, relationship goals, they all fit together. Everything works together. And the reason everything works together, we've talked about this before, is everything creates a stress load on your body, an energy load on your body. Work is a big energy load on your body. How is it an energy load on your body? You have to use your brain all day long at work. You have to move around all day long at work. It's a place where you expend a ton of mental and physical energy, whether you're standing, sitting, working with people, on the phone, whatever it is. That brain is working really hard. Everything starts with energy coming in, energy going out. So it's important when we think about motivation and we think about reaching our goals that we also look at our work life, right? Now, maybe some of you work from home, maybe you have your own businesses, maybe you're a coach like me where you get to, like, schedule your entire day and everybody thinks that's so great that you have all this flexibility, which can be great and cannot be great because you can get, I don't want to say lazy, but yeah, we can get lazy. Let's just be honest. Um, let's call it distracted. We can get distracted, which happens at work too. So think about establishing work blocks. And you may have that system in place already because, for example, I used to be in public education. Guess what? My work blocks were already established all day long by other people, right? If you're in that situation, that's great. Keep doing that because that's what you're supposed to do. But some of us need to think about time blocking. What does that look like? Time, and think about it this way: it doesn't have to just be for work. This also works in your personal life. So that time blocking, maybe on the weekends, maybe if you have a day off during the week, or even in the evenings, you need to think about your time in blocks so that you can do the things that you're excited about, that you want to do, family things, whatever it is, on your off time when you're not at work too. So time blocking is really, really important. What is time blocking? It's exactly how it sounds. It's not that complicated. You're just going to allocate specific blocks of time for different tasks. That's easy. So, for example, people who tend to be morning type of people, I'm using air quotes, um, find that they have a lot more energy. They're more focused in the mornings. So, if you're that kind of a person, you may dedicate your mornings to your high priority tasks, right? Those tasks that you have to put more brain energy into, that maybe you have to put more physical energy into, you're going to want to use the morning time if you're a morning person to do that. So those high priority tasks. And then in the afternoons, you're going to kind of maybe do those things that don't take a ton of brain space or energy, kind of like making your notes about the day, whatever that looks like. Maybe you're, maybe not interacting with people because you need a lot of brain energy to do that. But maybe it's making notes. Maybe it's kind of figuring some other things out, administrative types of tasks a little easier if you have that ability. So that you have more energy when you get to those evenings to be with the family and do the things. One interesting technique that I have heard of, and that I ascribe to for myself when I have a lot of computer work to do in a day, is I allot myself time to do the computer work and then I give myself a break. So I never sit on my computer for hours on end. I always have to get up and do something. So it's called the Pomodoro technique. So the Pomodoro technique, the strict Pomodoro technique, is 25 minutes of focused work followed by like a 5-minute break. So maybe that's getting up and walking around. If you're working from home, like I can go switch the laundry, I can take the dog out, I can, I like to clean. So maybe I clean part of the kitchen, move the dishes around, whatever. But it's really just taking like 25 minutes of focus time. Maybe for you, it's 30 minutes, maybe it's 45, maybe it's 15, whatever it is, take a little break. I like to break mine. I don't usually use generally a time frame. I use like um the time that it takes me to do a task. Most of my tasks aren't hours long. So it's an easy break time for me. Get one task done, take a break. Get one task done, take a break. So that's a Pomodoro technique. Works really, really well. Give it a shot. Modify and adjust to fit you. And in that vein, this is a good time to talk about incorporating breaks and downtime in your day. A big time that I work with people on all the time is taking a lunch break. It is amazing to me how many people just work through lunch. I would be the biggest, I'm going to say it, the biggest bitch if I work through lunch. Like, I'm getting so hangry. People wouldn't want to be around me. I don't even want, my dog wouldn't want, which is frightening. My dog would not want to be around me. Seriously, when I'm hangry, it's not pretty. We all have been there, I'm sure. So schedule your breaks, incorporate downtime into your day, just like the Pomodoro method, right? Incorporate those short breaks between your work blocks, step away from your desk, stretch. Like if you can't get, honestly, and I know some of you can't get away from your desk. But because you have scheduled back to back, whatever it is. But do some stretches. Oh my gosh, you can get on YouTube. There's some chair yoga. Honestly, I know that sounds weird, but it's good stretching. Take like a 5-minute walk. And if you are a manager or you manage people in any way, shape, or form, and you have meetings that you are facilitating, you need to think about the people at the other end of the computer or around the table with you. And really, really, honest to God, you are going to make so many people happy and be such a better manager of people, right? If you schedule those little breaks, when you start to see people get uncomfortable, honest to God, even as adults, we're not meant to sit for hours on end or even an hour. Get up, let everybody get up and make them get up because people will just sit, right? Oh, I'm just going to sit and talk. No, get up, move around 5 minutes, whatever you need to do. And always, always, always have your lunch. You're refueling, you're recharging, you get to relax a little bit, eat your food, people. Chew, chew, chew. I love that. I'm like a choo choo train. I always say that to my husband. Choo choo choo, choo choo choo. Okay, so that's the workday. Okay, that's going to help you. Here's the thing: if you have a more productive and relaxing workday and you feel better, you will be able to hit your goals better. Why? Because overall, your energy level is going to be better. Your mood is going to be better. Your mental health is going to be better. You're taking care of yourself. You're setting the building blocks for every day taking care of yourself. That's what we're doing. If you lack motivation, if you lack discipline, those foundational things aren't happening. You don't love yourself enough to take care of yourself. And that's what we're talking about, taking care of yourself. So you get through work, you get through your day. Now you get home and now your evening, you do whatever you need to do with family and friends and have a great time. What do you do before bed? It's a good question. What do you do before bed? Establishing an evening routine that helps you unwind and calm down so that you're not running and jumping. I think of the movie Big. I'm dating myself. I am really back in the 80s with Tom Hanks. And he has it's a different situation, but he has someone over and he has bunk beds and he like tears into the room, runs and jumps into the bunk bed, into the top bunk. And he's so excited. Okay. That is not a great way to go to sleep. I'm just telling you. It was funny in the movie, wonderful. As adult people, that doesn't work for us. You need a wind down routine. And maybe that is, it's to kind of calm your body down, calm your brain down. Maybe it's reading a little bit. I read at least a chapter a night in a book that is not educational, just for fun. Maybe you need to meditate or you like to meditate, which is literally just sitting in quiet. Maybe you like to do some light stretching. There are some great yoga poses like legs up the wall pose for prior to bed. Limit your screen time before bed, though. So if you're reading, read a real book. What? Yes, read a real book. Don't watch TV. Don't get involved in a thriller of a movie that you're really excited about because you're not going to be able to wind down, right? So that screen time, you want to reduce that exposure to the screen at least an hour before bed because that's going to improve your sleep quality. What's the point of going to bed? Get good sleep. Does getting good sleep help with motivation and discipline? Yes. And if that is a concern for you and like, I don't get why those things make sense together, just let me know. We'll have a talk because, oh my gosh, of course it does. This also, there's a really interesting thing to think about too. This could be a time where you get to kind of review your day. I have clients who, and I just posted about this the other day, struggle going to sleep because their brain is working really hard about what happened during the day. Or what's happening tomorrow. Sunday nights are big for this. Oh, Lord, help us all, right? Sunday nights are a big time where it's tough to go to sleep, it's tough to stay asleep because we're thinking about what's coming on Monday, or we're thinking about what we did this weekend, all the things. This is a good time. You could incorporate this into your end of day, kind of that evening kind of routine, is to spend a few minutes reflecting on the day. And I give 3 questions to my clients. I say, what went well, or what did you enjoy? Phrase it however you want. What were your wins for the day? What went well? What did you enjoy? What were the best parts of your day? Um, what is coming up for tomorrow? So not just reflect, but prepare for tomorrow. What is coming up for tomorrow? And what are you grateful for? Those are really important. Gratitude is huge, helps with mindset. So at the end of the day, you get 3 easy questions. Can you modify those? Absolutely. The other thing to think about too is that all these things we talked about today to help you boost your motivation, to help you build discipline, all those things toward your goals, is all about prioritizing your self care. This is all about self care, exercise, movement, eating your food, breakfast, lunch, sleep schedule, right? Making sure you turn off screens, making sure you get good rest, turn off your brain. All of these things are self-care. A lot of times we think getting our nails done or getting our hair done or going golfing or whatever, hanging out with the guys, that's self-care. It is, but these are the small self-care pieces you can do every single day, and you should do every single day, that ultimately keep you healthier because the stress on your body is lowered, your mindset is better, your mental health is better. And ultimately, what happens then is your health improves, and so does your body composition. Seriously. Last but not least, everyone, remember all the things we just talked about: the morning routine, the time blocking, the prioritizing your self-care, scheduling your boundaries in your evening, all those things. It is very individualized to each and every single person. My day is different than yours. Your day is different than your friends. Everybody has different days, and each day is different. It doesn't have to be the same every day. Keep the structure, right? Keep the structure, but some things might change. That's why the last thing we talk about in terms of boosting your motivation is, remember, you need to customize and adjust the plan for you. Tailor it to fit your preferences, what you like, and tailor it to fit your personal needs and your circumstances, right? What works for me may not work for you. That's how it goes. And like I said, be flexible. Life is ever changing. And sometimes you just never know what's going to hit you. So make sure that you take some of these ideas, put them into practice. Let me know how it goes for you. Let me know what questions you have about helping yourself stay motivated, be motivated, gain motivation. I'm going to drop into the show notes a sample daily routine. Thanks for joining today. So happy to have you on the podcast with me. Let me know your questions in the comments. like, subscribe, do all the lovely things. I'm so excited to come to you every week and talk about what's going on with health, fitness. I think my next podcast, you're going to love it. It's about GLP-1s. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about. Wegovy, semaglutide. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about. We're going to get into that next time. Ladies and gentlemen, thanks for coming. Have an amazing week, and we'll see you soon.